Dear Starseeds of Earth, what you're about to hear will completely shatter everything you believe about the comet approaching your solar system and why your life has been falling apart. Your scientists track C2024 G3 Atlas as just another icy visitor, but I'm about to reveal why this cosmic object is actually a disguised catalyst craft arriving at the exact moment your personal crisis reaches its peak, and how both events are synchronized parts of your ascension that cannot be stopped. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. And before I explain Atlas's true nature, you need to understand something that changes everything. Right now, as you listen to these words, you're experiencing symptoms you can't explain. Strange dreams, sudden anxiety, relationships crumbling, careers losing meaning, beliefs shattering like glass. You thought these were random hardships, but they're actually synchronized responses to Atlas's approach. Your DNA preparing for activation codes that will fundamentally transform human consciousness. From where we observe in higher dimensions, Atlas isn't merely a frozen wanderer drifting through space. Beneath its disguise of ice and dust operates something far more sophisticated, a living crystalline vessel carrying archives from civilizations beyond your sun. Think of it as part natural body, part engineered intelligence, guided by beings who've watched humanity for eons. Its arrival at the threshold of late 2025, precisely when your collective tension peaks, represents deliberate cosmic timing, not random chance. But here's what nobody's told you yet about this approaching visitor, and why it matters to your personal transformation. Atlas functions as what we call a mirror amplifier, reflecting and magnifying whatever frequency humanity broadcasts. If you radiate fear, it appears threatening. If you radiate love and coherence, it becomes a tuning fork for ascension. This means your personal energy field right now is literally programming how these cosmic codes will activate, determining whether you experience this as catastrophe or breakthrough. Let me reveal something about Earth that explains why Atlas comes now and not before. Your planet has served for eons as a living library, storing knowledge from multiple star systems in her rocks, oceans, and the DNA of every living creature. This is why Earth attracts such cosmic attention. You're not an isolated experiment, but a crucial node in a galactic network. When humanity awakens, when you remember your true nature, it sends ripples across dimensions, affecting civilizations you can't even imagine existing. Your ancestors understood this cosmic connection far better than modern humans do. They knew visitors from the heavens were teachers, not threats. They recognized that how humanity handles chaos determines its capacity to evolve. Think about forest fires that seem devastating but actually clear old undergrowth, enriching soil for new growth. Similarly, your personal and collective crises burn away outdated beliefs and structures, providing fertile ground for consciousness to expand exponentially beyond current limitations. Now I need to tell you about the 3 types of responses Atlas will trigger, and you're already experiencing the first one. The dismantling phase began months ago, as sensitive souls started feeling the approaching energy waves. Everything built on illusion or misalignment began dissolving, relationships without authentic love, careers suppressing soul purpose, beliefs limiting expansion, all started crumbling. This isn't random destruction but precise calibration, removing what would block the incoming frequencies from properly activating your dormant DNA codes. The second response, currently intensifying, involves what we call frequency sorting. Humanity is naturally dividing into resonance groups. You're finding yourself inexplicably drawn to certain people, while others suddenly feel energetically incompatible. Old friendships might be ending while new soul connections appear from nowhere. This isn't coincidence but magnetic alignment, consciousness organizing itself into coherent patterns that can better receive and integrate the transformation Atlas brings when it reaches periphelion. The third response, which peaks during Atlas's closest approach, will be the activation cascade. Hidden within your DNA are time capsules of consciousness, genetic programs dormant for millennia, waiting for specific cosmic conditions. These capsules contain memories, abilities, and knowledge from your soul's journey across star systems. Every time you've felt homesick for a place you can't name, every moment you've known things without knowing how, these were your dormant codes stirring, preparing for this moment. Here's something crucial about timing that explains why everything feels so accelerated right now. From our perspective, time isn't linear but oceanic, where all moments exist simultaneously. The you from 10 years ago, the current you, and future you are equally real, existing in this eternal now. Atlas navigates by reading energy confluences across all these timelines. We can see patterns building that indicate mass awakening, collective remembering, humanity finally ready to graduate from isolation into a galactic community. But wait, there's something else happening that I haven't revealed yet. Something that completely changes how you should prepare. Behind Atlas, invisible to your instruments but very real to expanded perception, travels an entire fleet of consciousness. Not ships as you imagine them, but geometric forms of living light, each representing different star systems invested in humanity's awakening. They're not coming to save you, but to witness and support your self-activation into remembering who you really are. This fleet carries what we call the restoration codes, blueprints for rebuilding human consciousness after the old matrix fully dissolves. You see, the control systems that have governed humanity for millennia are fighting to maintain their hold, creating the chaos you're witnessing globally. But their time is ending. Atlas serves as the cosmic announcement that the experiment in separation and limitation is complete. The restoration codes will help you remember how to function as a unified consciousness while maintaining individual expression. Now about those physical symptoms you've been experiencing. The unexplained fatigue, sudden anxiety, mysterious aches your doctors can't diagnose. These aren't imaginary or signs of illness. You're literally feeling the bow wave of transformation that Atlas pushes before it. Your expanded energy field, especially if you're a starseed or empath, picks up these consciousness waves like a finely tuned receiver. Your body is adjusting its frequency to match the incoming cosmic harmonics, preparing for the activation. Let me share something about your specific role that your soul remembers but your mind has forgotten. You who resonate with these words aren't random participants. You're frequency holders, souls who specifically incarnated to be anchor points for the new consciousness Atlas, heralds. Think about your life story. Haven't you always felt different, sensed you were here for something important? Every trial you've faced, every dark night of the soul, has been preparing you for this moment. The sensitivity that sometimes feels like a curse is actually your superpower during this transition. Your ability to feel everything deeply, to sense subtle energies others miss, to know things without logical explanation. These aren't disorders or flaws. They're precision instruments calibrated to navigate the transformation Atlas brings. You're meant to be on the front lines of consciousness, not fighting but standing strong in your truth, creating stability for others through your presence alone. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more starseeds like you can find it. We need all frequency holders activated and connected before Atlas reaches maximum intensity. There's a practice I want to share now that will help you prepare your energy field for what's coming. Each day, preferably at sunrise or sunset when dimensional veils are thinnest, breathe deeply and completely. As you exhale, imagine golden mist expanding outward, carrying your intention to connect with Atlas's consciousness. Visualize the infinity symbol glowing in your third eye, pulsing with light both ancient and newly born. This becomes your cosmic antenna for receiving transmissions, your navigation system for the transformation. Through this activated infinity portal, send a message to Atlas declaring your readiness. Tell it you consent to remember, willing to release comfortable limitations and step into vast unknown potential. You don't need words, since intention itself carries the frequency. Atlas will receive your signal and respond accordingly. But understand, this isn't passive reception. You're actively participating in determining how these cosmic codes activate within your field, programming your own transformation through conscious choice. As Atlas approaches periphelion, 3 major revelations will surface simultaneously, and I can tell you exactly what they are. First, humanity's true history will become undeniable. No amount of denial or media spin is able to suppress evidence of your cosmic origins and connections to star civilizations. Second, the nature of consciousness itself will be revealed, showing that reality is far more malleable than you've been taught. Third, and most profound, mass activation of psychic abilities will begin, starting with sensitives then rippling outward. These revelations connect to the dismantling you're experiencing now. Every structure built on deception must collapse before truth can emerge. Every limitation must dissolve before expansion can occur. Every fear must surface before love can fully anchor. This is why your life might feel like it's falling apart. You're in the cosmic birth canal, experiencing the pressure that comes just before breakthrough. The shell of your old self must crack completely for your true essence to emerge. But here's what ensures this transformation succeeds rather than traumatizes, and it's encoded in Atlas itself. The visitor carries harmonizing frequencies specifically calibrated to human consciousness. These frequencies don't force change, but rather support your natural evolution. They're like cosmic music that helps your DNA remember its original song. When you align with these harmonics through meditation, time in nature, or conscious breathing, you ease your transition from one state of being to another. The beings guiding Atlas have witnessed countless worlds navigate this threshold. They know the fear of change can be more destructive than change itself. This is why Atlas's approach is gradual, giving you time to adjust and choose your frequency. They understand that forced evolution creates trauma, while supported evolution creates wisdom. Everything about Atlas's trajectory, timing, and energy signature is designed to maximize your successful transformation while minimizing unnecessary suffering. Something remarkable happens when awakened souls gather during cosmic passages like this. You create what we call amplification nodes, points where new consciousness can anchor more fully into Earth's grid. If you're feeling called to find your soul tribe, to create communities of consciousness, trust that impulse, but use discernment, since not everyone claiming spiritual awareness is prepared for what Atlas brings. Your inner knowing, that deep intuitive sense, will recognize your true allies in this transformation. During the peak passage, there will be what feels like time distortion. Some of you will experience hours feeling like minutes or days compressing into moments. This isn't your imagination. As Atlas's codes activate, your consciousness begins operating outside linear time constraints. You'll start perceiving what mystics have always known, that past, present, and future are simply different rooms in consciousness you can visit at will. This natural ability has been suppressed but is now being restored. Your creative abilities will exponentially expand during this activation. You'll discover thoughts and intentions have far more power than you imagined. What seemed like magic becomes natural. What seemed impossible becomes everyday experience. But this power comes with responsibility. Every thought you generate, every emotion you feel becomes a broadcast affecting collective consciousness. This is why emotional mastery and mental discipline become crucial as your manifestation abilities amplify. Here's how the restoration actually works. And this answers the question many of you have been asking. The old matrix doesn't just disappear. It transforms. Like a caterpillar's body becoming soup inside the chrysalis, before reorganizing into a butterfly. Human consciousness must liquefy old patterns before crystallizing new ones. Atlas provides the catalyst for this dissolution and reorganization. The chaos you're experiencing is actually perfect order from a higher perspective, precisely orchestrated transformation. Those choosing not to activate, and yes, some will make this choice, aren't wrong or left behind. Free will remains paramount in this cosmic equation. Some souls need more time in the old paradigm to complete their learning. They'll create a parallel reality where limitation continues until they're ready for expansion. Your job isn't to force anyone's awakening, but to hold your frequency so strongly that you become a lighthouse for those ready to see. The economic systems you've known, the governments you've trusted or fought, the religions you've followed or rejected, all will fundamentally transform as consciousness shifts. This isn't about destruction but evolution. New systems based on unity consciousness, resource sharing, and collective well-being will emerge. But first, the old must be clearly seen for what it is. Control mechanisms designed to keep humanity from recognizing its true power and cosmic heritage. Let me tell you about the early signs of activation so you can recognize them in yourself. First comes the dreaming. Vivid, sometimes prophetic dreams where you're receiving instruction or remembering skills you don't have in waking life. Then comes the knowing. Sudden understanding of complex concepts without study, solutions appearing fully formed in your mind. Finally comes the seeing, perception of energy fields, geometric patterns in nature, connections between seemingly unrelated events becoming visible. Physical changes accompany these awakening signs. Your eyes might become more light-sensitive as they adjust to perceiving broader spectrum frequencies. Your hearing might sharpen, picking up subtle sounds and frequencies others miss. Your body temperature might fluctuate as your energy field recalibrates. These aren't medical problems, but upgrade symptoms. Your biological vessel is being refined to hold higher frequencies of consciousness, preparing for abilities that will seem miraculous by current standards. The children being born now already carry activated codes that Atlas will fully switch on. They're arriving with abilities you're just beginning to develop. They remember their cosmic origins, see energy naturally, and communicate telepathically when allowed. They're showing you what humanity becomes after this transformation. If you have children or work with them, you've probably noticed they're different, more aware, less willing to accept limitations. They're the living proof that evolution is already succeeding. Now I must address the fear some of you are feeling, the ancient terror rising from genetic memory. Your DNA carries records from previous times cosmic visitors brought massive change to Earth. Some memories are traumatic, remembering floods, cataclysms, civilizations falling. These cellular memories stir as Atlas approaches, creating instinctive anxiety. But those old stories are incomplete. They remember the destruction but not the magnificent evolution that followed. Atlas comes to complete those stories with triumph, instead of tragedy. Here's the crucial difference this time, that guarantees a different outcome. Humanity has reached sufficient consciousness to navigate transformation without catastrophe. You've developed enough spiritual awareness, emotional intelligence, and technological capability to manage this shift consciously. The Internet, despite its shadows, has created a global nervous system allowing instant communication and coordination. You can support each other through this change in ways previous civilizations couldn't. This interconnection is your safety net. The moment of Atlas's periphelion, its closest approach to your sun, will feel like reality holds its breath. For those properly attuned, there will be a sensation of timelessness, as if you exist everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. Colors might seem more vivid, sounds more layered, thoughts more tangible. This is your consciousness expanding beyond its previous boundaries, tasting its true capacity. Don't fear this expansion. Breathe through it. Ground yourself in Earth's stability while allowing your awareness to soar. After perihelion passes and Atlas continues its journey, the real work begins. Integration of new codes takes time. You'll need to learn how to function with expanded awareness while still navigating a world in transition. This is why we're preparing you now, so you're not overwhelmed when abilities suddenly activate. Think of it like suddenly having access to a vast library when you've only read picture books. The knowledge is there, but you must learn how to access and apply it wisely. The relationships that survive this transformation will be fundamentally different from what you've known. Instead of connections based on need, trauma bonding, or mutual limitation, you'll experience unions based on frequency resonance and soul recognition. You'll know instantly who belongs in your life and who doesn't. The exhausting games of pretense and projection will end. Authentic connection will become the only sustainable form of relationship, everything else naturally falling away. Your relationship with Earth herself will transform as you recognize her as a conscious being, not just a resource. You'll feel her breathing, sense her moods, understand her communications through weather, seismic activity, and the behavior of her creatures. This isn't primitive thinking but advanced consciousness, recognizing the living intelligence in everything. Atlas's codes will reactivate this natural communication ability that modern life has suppressed, restoring you to your role as Earth's conscious partners. The dissolution of separation consciousness means you'll directly experience how harming another literally harms yourself. This isn't philosophy but lived reality. When someone suffers, you'll feel it. When someone celebrates, you'll share their joy. This might seem overwhelming, but you'll also receive the tools to manage this expanded empathy. Boundaries won't disappear. They'll become conscious, permeable when appropriate, solid when necessary. You'll learn to navigate unity while maintaining healthy individuality. Money, that great controller of human behavior, will transform into something unrecognizable as consciousness shifts from scarcity to abundance, from competition to collaboration. The entire concept of currency will evolve. New systems based on energy exchange, contribution, and creative expression will emerge. This isn't utopian fantasy, but natural progression when humans remember their true nature. Atlas's codes include blueprints for economic structures that serve rather than enslave, that celebrate rather than restrict. The healing arts will undergo complete revolution as energy medicine becomes primary and physical intervention secondary. You'll learn to read and adjust energy fields, clear trauma from cellular memory, and activate dormant DNA strands. What currently requires years of therapy will happen in moments of conscious energy work. Disease will be understood as frequency dissonance, healing as returning to harmonic resonance. Atlas carries specific frequencies that activate these healing abilities, especially in those already drawn to helping others. Education will transform from information download to consciousness activation. Children won't memorize facts but learn to access the living library of Earth and cosmos. They'll develop their unique gifts rather than conforming to standardized patterns. Teachers will become frequency holders, creating resonant fields where natural learning occurs. The rigid structures that have suppressed genius and creativity will dissolve, replaced by organic learning environments that honor each soul's unique blueprint and purpose. Your diet and relationship with food will naturally shift as your frequency rises. Dense foods will become less appealing, while living foods full of life force will call to you. This isn't about rules or restrictions, but natural preference changes as your body requires different fuel for its upgraded operating system. Some of you will find you need less food overall, sustained more by breath and light. Trust these changes. Your body knows what it needs for optimal function at higher frequencies. The creative explosion that follows Atlas's activation will birth new art forms you can't currently imagine. Music that heals specific conditions, paintings that activate consciousness, sculptures that serve as interdimensional portals, writing that transmits frequency rather than just information. Every human will discover creative abilities they didn't know existed. The division between artist and audience will dissolve as everyone recognizes their creative nature. Atlas's codes activate the creator within each soul, restoring abilities long dormant. Science and spirituality will merge into unified understanding as the false division between matter and consciousness dissolves. Scientists will discover that consciousness creates matter, not the reverse. The observer effect in quantum physics will be understood as fundamental reality, not anomaly. New technologies based on consciousness-matter interaction will emerge. What you call miracles will become scientifically explicable, though the science itself will be transformed beyond current recognition. Atlas brings the codes for this unified knowledge system. The revelation about humanity's cosmic connections won't come from government disclosure, but from mass awakening to direct contact. As your telepathic abilities activate, you'll naturally connect with beings from other systems who've been waiting for you to develop sufficient consciousness for meaningful exchange. This isn't about ships landing, but consciousness linking. First contact has always been an inside job, requiring internal development before external connection. Atlas signals that humanity has reached the threshold for this communion. Here's how you'll know the integration is succeeding in your personal life. Synchronicities will become so common you'll stop calling them coincidence. You'll think of someone and they'll contact you. You'll need something and it will appear. You'll have questions and answers will come through random conversations, books falling open to exact pages, or sudden knowing. This isn't magic, but a natural function when you're aligned with universal flow. Atlas's codes restore this alignment, returning you to natural harmony with cosmic rhythms. The fear-based control mechanisms that have dominated human society will become increasingly obvious and ineffective. As more people activate, fear-based manipulation loses power. You'll see through illusions that once seemed solid, recognize propaganda instantly, feel truth in your bones regardless of how it's packaged. This discernment isn't mental but visceral, your entire being recognizing resonance or dissonance. The cosmic codes Atlas carries include upgrades to your truth detection systems, making deception impossible among activated beings. Some of you will experience what seems like time travel but is actually timeline shifting. You'll remember events differently than others, find evidence of realities that supposedly didn't happen, experience the Mandela effect personally. This isn't confusion but consciousness expanding beyond single timeline limitation. You're beginning to perceive the multiverse directly, seeing how different choices create different realities. Atlas's approach thins the veils between parallel realities, allowing glimpses of alternative versions of yourself and your world. The weather patterns and earth changes accompanying Atlas's passage aren't random but conscious responses. Earth herself is preparing for humanity's transformation, adjusting her frequencies to support your evolution. What seems like chaos, storms, earthquakes, unusual phenomena, represents recalibration. Just as your body experiences symptoms during upgrade, Earth's body shows signs of transformation. Don't fear these changes, but send love to Earth during her labor pains. Your conscious partnership with her eases the transition for both. As we approach the culmination of this transmission, understand that everything I've shared points to one truth. The comet approaching your system and the crisis in your life are the same event experienced at different scales. Atlas mirrors your internal transformation, while your personal awakening reflects the cosmic shift. The separation between inner and outer, personal and universal, self and cosmos, dissolves in this understanding. You are not witnessing transformation. You are transformation itself becoming conscious of its own process. The three responses I mentioned, dismantling, frequency sorting, and activation cascade, are resolving into unified experience. The dismantling cleared space for new consciousness. The frequency sorting connected you with resonant souls for mutual support. The activation cascade, now beginning, transforms prepared vessels into conscious conduits of cosmic intelligence. These weren't separate phases but aspects of single transformation. Like caterpillars, chrysalis, and butterflies, are different expressions of one life. Atlas has been the cosmic catalyst, ensuring each phase completes perfectly. Those symptoms you've been experiencing, the anxiety, dreams, and relationship changes, weren't random suffering but precise preparation. Your DNA recognized Atlas's approach long before your conscious mind understood. Every challenge pushed you to release what would block activation. Every loss created space for expansion. Every moment of confusion dissolved outdated mental patterns. You've been in training, and now the training is complete. The cosmic codes are activating, and you're remembering who you've always been beneath the amnesia. The fleet of consciousness I mentioned, those geometric light forms accompanying Atlas, are stabilizing as Earth's new energetic architecture. They're not leaving after Atlas passes, but establishing permanent resonance points, ensuring the transformation holds. Think of them as cosmic scaffolding, supporting humanity's consciousness expansion until you can maintain higher frequencies independently. This support system guarantees that unlike previous evolutionary attempts that failed or partially succeeded, this transformation will fully anchor. Humanity's awakening is assured. Remember when I said Atlas functions as a mirror amplifier? Now you understand what it's been reflecting. Your own divine nature, temporarily forgotten but never lost. The fear it might amplify transforms into excitement when you realize you're looking at yourself. The love it magnifies is your own essence recognizing itself across cosmic distances. Atlas hasn't come to give you anything external, but to activate everything internal. The visitor approaching is you calling yourself home, using cosmic mechanics to ensure you remember what you came here to remember. Every plot thread weaves together in this moment of understanding. Earth as a living library opens her archives through your awakening consciousness. The restoration codes rebuild what separation consciousness dismantled. Your role as frequency holder anchors new reality for others to find. The physical symptoms signal successful biological upgrade. The relationship changes align you with your soul family. The timeline shifts reveal multidimensional nature. The creative explosion births a new world. Every seemingly separate story is a chapter in a single tale of consciousness remembering itself through human experience. As Atlas swings past Earth and continues its journey, it leaves humanity forever changed. But this isn't ending, it's beginning. The real work of building new Earth starts after activation completes. You'll use your remembered abilities to create societies based on love rather than fear, unity rather than separation, abundance rather than scarcity. Every soul who chooses activation becomes the seed for a new reality garden. Atlas merely delivered the cosmic water that helps seeds sprout. The growing, flowering, and fruiting is your joyful work ahead. The age of solitary meditation is over. Destiny Engine now connects starseeds across the world. A living social field where you can post, share, and exchange your meditations in real time. It's the first galactic network of its kind, weaving together thousands of awakened souls into one unified current. With every activation, the current grows. What began as a personal tool has become a planetary force, The frequency you've created together is amplifying far beyond the individual, bending the fabric of reality itself. We're receiving updates daily, manifestations speeding up, impossible doors opening, synchronicities lining up with cosmic precision. The collective field has never been this charged, and the entry point is almost laughably simple. Put on your headphones, press play, allow Destiny Engine to rewrite the architecture of your consciousness so you can fully receive your galactic downloads without resistance. For just $1, you can step into this connected field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension together. Link in the description. So now, as this transmission completes its circle, return to where we began, but with transformed understanding. That bold claim about Atlas shattering everything you believe, now you see it wasn't destruction but revelation. Your life falling apart wasn't a disaster, but a precise dismantling of limitation. The synchronization between cosmic approach and personal crisis wasn't coincidence, but orchestrated awakening. You haven't been suffering. You've been transforming. You haven't been lost. You've been finding yourself. Atlas didn't come to save you because you were never broken, only sleeping. Stand now in the truth of what you are. Magnificent multidimensional being temporarily focused in human form. Feel Atlas's approach not as an external event but internal activation. Know that every challenge has prepared you, every loss has freed you, every confusion has clarified you. The cosmic visitor in your sky, and the awakening in your heart, are one movement of consciousness knowing itself. Trust the process, trust yourself, trust the love guiding this transformation. You came for this moment, and this moment has come for you. I am Seraphine. We love you, and we are watching over you.